Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker shills, desolate sirs. I'm Isolati. Welcome. And I just got to thinking about the horrible conditions in Gaza and just how long the conditions of Gaza have been horrible. And one could easily go back 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, and 100 years and see that there's just been an incredible amount of pressure on the Palestinian people. And it made me curious as how many would turn to suicide. So I did a little research to find out, because particularly in the situation they're in now, just indescribable, being the target of genocide, having 90%, 92% of their homes destroyed, having entire cities decimated, and people just dying around you all the time. And certainly it looks like there's no future. And what I found was really interesting. Of course, there's a huge spike in suicides in Gaza right now, especially amongst the young. And in 2020, in the 18 to 30 age group, 75% of suicides were in that age group. So young people are really bearing the brunt. And no surprise there when they have 70% unemployment in that demographic, 18 to 30. But I can't imagine how it could be any easier. Certainly for adults and parents who've seen their entire families killed, their children get killed, their husbands get killed, their babies get killed. It's just astounding. The fact that the suicide rate isn't higher than it is really surprising in itself. And what we have now is that there's 562 suicides in Gaza per year. And so with a population of 1,700,000 in Gaza, that's still a pretty high number. And although hearing 562 on the surface doesn't sound that much, but we also have to realize that those are the successful ones. If you use the correct methodology, you arrive at the fact that probably thousands have attempted suicide and only 562 have succeeded. And a couple of other components of that, of course, that suicide is illegal and is certainly forbidden by Islamic law, but also the fact that suicides would just blend in with the war deaths. So how would you discriminate between somebody who died of suicide and somebody that was killed in the field? So that's another thing that skews the numbers. And then one of the big things is the fact that there's a real stigma attached to it, both because it's illegal and it's against Islamic law. And so the parents of any of these children and people between the ages of 18 and 30, if they are between the ages of 18 and 30, if they attempt suicide or they achieve suicide, then the family is very likely to cover it up and just say that they were killed in the field because there's so much stigma. So overall, I would once again go back and say that 562 per year is documented official count of suicide in Gaza, which is doubled over the last several years. But the fact is, we could probably add on another 1,000 a year of attempted suicides, and then we could probably actually double that number of 562 due to the shame and stigma that would be suffered by the families if they reported a suicide. So in actuality, I would say more than likely between attempts and successes, there's probably more like 3,000 suicides and suicide attempts per year in Gaza. And once again, that's a pretty high percentage of a population that's just over 1.5 million in the Gaza Strip. So anyway, I answered my question. I'm surprised that the numbers are not a lot higher, but like I say, as a percentage of the population, that's pretty high. And who could blame people that are going through what the Palestinians are going through for wanting a quick, easy way out? I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.